obviously, people write about a lot of things in their life.
Yeah.
They write about, their experiences. They write about what they love, what they care about, their their relationships, their beliefs.
Yeah.
Why on this song did you want to write about your wife?
American Dream. Well, it actually started as an idea that Chandler, my co-writer, had. He was in a coffee shop and he saw one of the bartenders and he was kind of practicing writing based on visuals, stuff that he sees. And so she was wearing a red crop top, and so he wrote red crop top. She didn't have white high boots, but he just kind of like completed the red, white, and blue. She had blue jeans, red crop top, blue jeans, and white boots. And then, then he pieced the three together and he wrote, "Girl, I'm free when I'm with you." And he's also single, so he's in that. He's doing what I got to do when I was single, like envisioning what life with your future person could be. And so when he brought that in the studio, I obviously loved the play on words and the red, white, blue thing. And so I was like, bro, let's run with this. Let's do it. Because every Tuesday night we write. That's kind of I'm really grateful for that time, actually. That's something I want to grow a little bit more. But Addison, being my wife, was home and she always hosts our Tuesday nights. And so we started working on it, and it had to be a country song about a country girl. And the most country girl that I know is my wife. Hunts crossbows and everything, and just could kill me if she wanted to. But hey, cut that part. I don't want her to see that. But anyways, so yeah, it's just been it was a fun idea. And then as I started to write it, I started to picture her to get me in the right frame of mind to properly serve the song. And then the more I wrote it, I was like, this is about her. Like this, it became our song. At least it became a song that I would sing with her in mind the more I wrote it, if that makes sense.
No.
So yeah, it started just a fun little idea, and then she actually got in the room. I was like, hey, so what do you think? Is this even accurate? Would a country girl dress like this? And honestly, for the longest time, she was shutting down most of our ideas, and it was really, no, I would never do that. Oh, that's so dumb, which was really helpful. So what we have now, which I sent you the demo yet, the final mix yesterday, it just feels like a fun on the boat, and it starts with that truck sound. You can't play that song and come out of it sad and depressed. Like you play that song and you're like, oh, let's go outside. I want to do whatever. I just want to go. It's so fun. So yeah, hope that answers the question.
Yeah. And then how is Nigerian boy feel about doing a country song?
That's a great question. So I've been in the States now since 2012. So what? Yeah, half my life, I feel like.
Yeah.
12 years now, 13. And before I moved here, all my buddies growing up in the mission field were either American or Canadian or whatever.
Cool.
So I had like the accent, the culture. I was learning about Marvel and all this stuff. And country music, though, was not something over there. It's not exported very well. Country music is very American, which I think is really cool too. So when I got here, I only heard country music when I moved to Texas for school. So I moved to the U.S. in 2012. I moved to Texas in 2013. Like they say, I got here as fast as I could. And then I went to school in East Texas. Absolutely love East Texas. It's like my second home. Lots of love and great family and friends who are family now over there. And also just the laid back nature, your piney woods, all that. Went to school, flew, got my pilot's license, was there for 5 years, then worked for 2, met Addison at church. That whole time I'm hearing country songs everywhere. At first, I had the subconscious thought that most people have, which is, oh, country music's overplayed. Maybe not here, but like everywhere else in the world, it's like, oh, country. Country was kind of being bashed from what I heard. But when I came here, I was like, okay, I can understand why people are saying it's the same old, because it does have it's like worship music. You know, if you're not careful, it can be the same vibe the whole time. Like, you know, play the 1 to the 4 to the 6. We're about 60 to 80 BPM per song. Everything kind of sounds the same. Got to have the pads. You know, you have the same thing with country. There's the voice of the guy. It's usually male, and then there's the drums and the electric guitar. That's like you make a country song with those three things. But I paid attention to lyrics, and as I started to just grow as a musician and just listening to a lot of music, I loved the storytelling of country songs, and especially songs that I could tell were written by believers or people who just had the values that I believe God's designed for mankind to preserve for years and years to come, like family, taking care of the land, working hard, being faithful, you know, being a good steward of what you have, and then also like enjoying the land, you know, whether it's farming or getting out on the water, running your ATVs dry, like just being in God's green earth. I just love that part. So now, 2025, I'm turning 30. Left Nigeria when I was 7, missionary kid till 16. Basically, like this is, in a way, a coming of age for me, this album. And I'm just enjoying all that God's created, and country music is one of those things. So I'm not going to put myself in a box and say I'm only doing country, but I'm also not going to put myself in a box and say I'm never doing country. So
That feeling